Everyone, welcome back. It's Melanie or She Shed Scrappers. So today I am back with a 2-page layout using the brand new Evergreen collection from Close to My Heart. This is a great kind of wintry collection and I'm loving the color scheme. So I am going to be using this kind of busy paper for a border on 3 of my edges on both pages. And then just my plain kind of white paper. I'm thinking it's probably French vanilla now that I think about it. I'm going to cut 1 inch off of one side and then 1/2 inch off of one other side. And that will just allow for 1/2 inch around all 3 edges. I did decide to tape my border down and I'm thinking that was a mistake. On page 2, I didn't get the white paper lined up evenly. There are, I don't know, it didn't work. I don't always tape it down. I do like to kind of move my layouts around kind of in a circle when I embellish, but for whatever reason, this day I decided to tape them down, and you can kind of see page 2 does not look like an even border all the way around the layout. I am using multiple photos for this layout. I am going to have 4 photos, so 3 on page 2 and just 1 on page 1. And on page 2, I'm kind of going to make almost like a block of photos. I have those 2 photos that are the same size and then one that goes kind of landscape orientation. I'm going to put that on the bottom and then use that white space as a journaling spot. And so obviously I wanted to break up the photos and the French vanilla paper there with the French vanilla background paper. So I used the pine cardstock from the collection and like the way that looks. Definitely like that dark green, that dark border. I feel like that just helps it pop out off the page a little bit more. On page 1 though, I decided to go with, I believe this is sage, and double back my photo, actually triple back. Then I go with the pine. Again, with just 1 photo, I wanted to make it almost appear larger, I guess. And so by backing it multiple times, that just allows, I guess, more space to be taken up on the layout. In my mind, I had this great layout idea. I saw this layout on Instagram where the background was just all different size circles. And I thought, I should be able to do that, but use snowflakes. But then I also had this idea to scrap lift layout from the current catalog using this collection and didn't want to use up all of my snowflakes. So because of that, I do end up switching up this layout and absolutely love the outcome. So even if you go into a layout with an idea, doesn't mean you have to really use that. You just mix it up, kind of go with the flow. That's definitely what this layout was for me. I love this craft paper that came with the collection. It has different colored polka dots in stripes across the page, and I just really loved the way that looked. And so I decided to use that as a strip that goes all the way across both pages, and again wanted to utilize my paper. So with this, I just cut strips and made it appear as though it goes all the way across the page. Just a great tip if you love a paper and want to get the most out of it. You can definitely trim it down, especially if you have a large group of photos like I have, or even the 1 photo on page 1. That gives me at least 4 inches of extra of that paper that I don't have to use by cutting it into strips of paper. So I decided once I get this all lined up that I wanted to turn the end of this one into a flag. So I just dovetail that and then make sure that is kind of lined up with the rest of the stripe across the page. And then I commit to my photo placement as well. And you could see ahead of time too, or before, I picked a sticker off the sticker sheet that is going to be my title, and I'm going to pop that up on some foam tape. And I think what made me decide to do the strip of paper across the layout is that sticker has that white background and would have just blended in with the background paper on the layout. So now the fun part starts with embellishing the layout. And again, I have already mentioned I want to scrap lift. I don't think I have yet a layout from the catalog. And so I wanted to kind of keep most of the snowflake stickers on the sticker sheet intact. I did not want to use those up on this layout. So I kind of was at a loss then with what to use, I guess, for the embellishments at first. These are the add-on embellishment pack, or this is the add-on embellishment pack for the collection. And so I decided to use this little stamp looking one and make it kind of the sage with a darker, I used the pine outline, and I thought that would be a great base for an embellishment cluster. Again, I just didn't want it that French vanilla, so adding color really just helps the other embellishments pop, especially that snowflake I layered on top of it. And I just really like the way that that looks. And then there is that kind of craft paper heart that I just thought looked really good, and that's just going to finish off that simple cluster there. I do have some snowflake dies from last winter from Close to My Heart, and so I decided to cut those in that sage and the pine colors, and different styles, different sizes, and then kind of just scatter those across the top of page 1 instead of kind of overloading the page like I initially planned with all snowflakes. I had a few that I was able to bring down to the bottom of the page as well. And what I'm doing here is adding some of the enamel dots from the Silver Bells collection to the middle of my snowflakes. It just kind of gives it another embellishment type. They are silvery, and I just really like the way that that looks in the middle of all of the snowflakes. And I use the 2 snowflakes at the bottom kind of again as a, not really a base, but a focal point, I guess, of another cluster, and really like the way that page 1 kind of comes together. It's really a more simple layout, but I do really like the outcome and the layout. The colors of this collection, I know I mentioned it in the very beginning, but I really like the colors of this collection. I do use that stamp sticker down to the bottom right, but again, it's got that French vanilla background, and I didn't want it to blend in from, with my journaling spot. And so I just used my pine and blended that in so that that stamp stuck out a little bit more. I added a couple of hearts to that. But again, just such a simple layout, but I really love the colors of it. I feel like they're just really great outdoor colors for my winter photos. So I will have the link down below for this new Evergreen collection. If you are interested, definitely get your hands on this one. I have a feeling this one might sell out quickly. So definitely check out the site and get your hands on it. And we will see you next time. Bye, guys.